we are your first fully digital network. Available in your favorite platforms, our shows can reach you wherever you are, whenever you want. Plus Network meets you where you are. Our desire is to share with you stories that are both educating and entertaining. We are committed to uplifting you in every facet of your life. Why? Dahil we believe in you. Our stories will move and inspire you to do more and be more. From financial lessons to inspirational life testimonies, we will make sure your 2021 will be a year you regain control of your life. Join us as we share with you stories that will hack healthy lifestyles, quick and easy recipes, money matters, parenting secrets, and many, many more. Kami dito sa Plus Network, we are behind you. So sa 2021, hindi na mahirap ang mangarap. Follow, subscribe, and like us on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube. And together, we can all be more and be plus. We are where you are.
Myself. Oh, hello. Is it working now? I'm so sorry. I literally just explained that they told me not to mute myself before speaking, and then I muted myself, and then I unmuted myself, but then muted myself again. Woo! Well, hey, Janina Bella here, and welcome to the show where we talk all things adulting. Woo! Good Friday. Happy Friday, everyone. Kamusta ba kayo? Buhay pa ba? Obviously, medyo mabagal po yung utak ko ngayon. It's been a long week of a lot of requirements. Next week na kasi yung finals namin. So, yeah, the preparation is not the easiest. But I hope you guys are still alive. Let's see who is online. We have Ollie. Hello, Ollie. Charmaine is here. Althea. Maya is here. Ali is here. Shea Butter Coconut. Wow, I love that you guys are like really here every single Friday. We have Sir Jesse James. Hove. Kulang. Hove. Okay, we have Micaela RXS. Hi guys. Friday crew, let's go. So I'm very happy to be back this Friday. Yeah. This is pangilang episode na ba tayo? Episode 6. Episode 6 of Adulthings. Can you believe? Wonderful. Today we are going to talk about a topic that we're all very familiar with, honestly, because this is something that lagi kong pinag-uusapan sa social medias ko, and I think everybody's social media has been about this, especially during the pandemic. But I wanted to hear from just a huge mover, no, in social media regarding this topic, especially self-improvement and personal growth. I don't even want to waste time. I want to get her on here right away. So let us welcome the beautiful, the strong, the intelligent Miss Aileen Bernos.
Hi, Janina. Hi, everyone.
Hi. How are you today? Oh, welcome to Kumu. Thank you so much, Iskay.
Hey, guys.
How are you, Aileen?
Super, just like you. It's a crazy Friday, finally. Daming ganap this week. But here we are. I think this is the perfect way to wrap it up.
Yeah, it is. So did I pronounce your last name correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay, I'm not going to say it again because I'm scared that I'm going to ruin it. But, yeah, it has been a crazy week for you. Wow, another welcome to Kumu. Thank you so much, friend Rafael. But, I wanted to, because you are a huge name on TikTok, especially Philippine TikTok, with two TikTok accounts, right?
Yes.
With two TikTok accounts. And how would you categorize, would you say, your TikTok accounts? What genre do they fall under?
Well, definitely the other one, Ayin Pero Tagalog, because I have Ayin Bernos, and that's where
Mm.
I do self-love content, self-development. But then my other account, which I did not plan for, is actually the bigger one, the one with 2 million followers. That's Ayin Pero
Wow.
Tagalog, but that's educational, so I teach English there. Sobrang random, pero
That's
that's
amazing.
what
No,
I
that's
do.
great. Yeah. And before I want to ask, like, how did, like, so you had a plan for Ayin Bernos, but then this other one came about. How was that process like?
Yeah, sobrang nakakatawa talaga because it Ayin Bernos was very strategic. I was like, I'm gonna be a planner, I'm gonna
Mm.
plan everything, my content, self-development, blah blah blah. And then some people started asking me kasi Ayin Bernos was in English, completely in
Yeah.
English. So may mga nagtatanong, Miss Ayin, how do you say this in Tagalog? Like, what does this mean? Sabi ko,
Okay.
guys, can you comment on my other account because I can't answer that here. I don't want to answer that here kasi ito
Mm.
yung parang formal account ko. So pumunta
Yeah.
sila dun sa Ayin Pero Tagalog to ask me grammar questions and then I would answer them as in super simply, as simple as I can communicate it. Tapos it was all in Tagalog. And then that blew up. So that's what happened.
With 2 million followers, congratulations! That's
Thank
amazing.
you.
Grabe,
Crazy.
tapos that's not your only thing. Because
Nope.
aside from that, you have Morena the Label and Ideology Studios and Camp Confidence Radio.
Yes.
Girl, parang konti lang naman yung ginagawa mo sa buhay, no? Chill-chill ka lang, no?
As a Virgo, ang daming gustong gawin sa buhay.
As a Virgo. Can you tell us more about Morena the Label? It says here kasi you are a proud brown girl behind Morena the Label. So can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, so Morena the Label is the clothing line na I started 2018, I think. Kasi
Mm.
I wanted to create merch, pero I obviously like couldn't have something Ayin Bernos because like at the time, parang who was Ayin Bernos? Also, it was weird. Parang
Yeah.
to So I was thinking, what was the common theme sa community ko na
Mm.
parang I think people will also resonate with, and it really was
Mm.
all about being able to love yourself. Also,
Mm.
since morena ako, like one of my
Yeah.
struggles growing up was like having to accept my skin color. So I want people
Mm.
to also be able to do that. So
Yeah.
I started selling the merchandise as in puro t-shirts at first, and then I did that for a year, parang medyo part-time, and then I moved back because I was living abroad at one point, teacher. I was like Taddy in Four Sisters in
Wow.
a Wedding. I was teaching
Oh.
in
Yeah,
Spain.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that became a full-time thing. So yeah, and that's what I do now. That's like my business.
Yeah, that's crazy. And what I love about your merch is that every single shirt is very intentional in what is written on it. Can you, like, for the people who don't know what Morena the label is or what the shirts kind of say, can you mention maybe your favorite quotes that
Mhm.
you have on there?
So for us, kasi it's all statement t-shirts.
Mm.
It's not really about design as in illustrations. It's really about the words. Because honestly, for me, I'm more of a storyteller. I'm more of a
Yeah.
writer than I am a designer. So
Mm.
ayan, we have I like my tan tita because that's kind of a passive aggressive thing you say sa reunion.
Yeah.
Parang, I like my tan tita. Can you not
Mm.
comment on it?
Yeah.
And then, oh, that one, yung embrace your flaws. What flaws? Kasi
Yeah, I love that.
this was very recent. I think you saw the post about it.
I
You might
did. I commented. I loved that post. Yeah.
somebody bashed me kasi for like my body, like body shaming talaga. And it was
Mm.
at first it was humiliating kasi it was not even on my account. It was on Quest's
Oh,
page. Tapos
wow.
parang
Yeah.
ako, like, can you not talk about my body on somebody
Mhm.
else's page? That's embarrassing. But then I was like, I need to take my power back. So I created
Yeah.
t-shirts.
Wow, I love that statement. You took your power back.
Mm-hmm.
I she says with so much confidence. I also like when one of your t-shirts it says normalize liking yourself, and I was like, yes, sis, yes. Um,
Wow.
how was that journey though? I mean, I honestly, yeah, I super understand. Kasi pag binabash ka on your channel, it's like, okay, they generally are targeting you to hurt you. But pag binabash ka on somebody else's platform, that's just a different thing. So how was that like for you?
That was, first of all, it was more nahiya ako dun sa friend ko. Kasi,
Mhm.
they're doing it for their, it was for Quest's music video. So parang
Mhm.
ako, why are you focusing on me and yung so-called flaws ko? Na parang can't you just, like enjoy the music video, the music, ganyan. So parang ako, ano ba naman 'to? Like, people are so caught up yung dun sa mga ganitong kaliit na bagay, like zeroing in on our flaws when we could be appreciating, better, bigger things like music, ganyan, or achievements ng mga tao. Like, instead of celebrating that, why do we focus on yung mga maliliit na bagay about our bodies, especially things we cannot change, and ganyan. So, to me, that was parang nagising ako na, oh my God, people are really gonna be like this. And if we don't normalize, being different, kasi parang there's always this one itsura of what beauty is supposed to look like,
Yeah.
And for the longest time, that's all we see. So parang
Mhm.
ako, now that we live here on the internet, the most I could do from my ano lang, like my little circle, is to just be as ayin as possible. And if that
Yeah.
means being open about liking myself, then go ahead. I'm gonna like myself.
Yeah. That's so nice. Just being as ayin as possible, no? And I love that even like you did kind of. I think besides the statement T-shirts, I feel like your presence on social media in general is already such an empowering thing that you don't feel like you have to edit your body or change your skin color or edit out whatever bloopers there are in your life. Because I feel like empowerment starts with showing up, empowerment of self, and of course empowerment of others as well,
Mhm.
because we always want to do the big things, um,
Yeah.
give, I mean, obviously that's a dream, not statement t-shirts and podcasts, but I think what's so beautiful about your story is that you just showed up, both for yourself, and for your followers, right?
Thank you. That's so nice. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Kasi, you know what? For me,
Mhm.
it's all about, syempre, it's authenticity. But more than that, it's really exhausting to pretend and to
Yeah.
hide stuff. So for me, it's like, okay, if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this with the least resistance, yung the
Mhm.
least effort of trying to overproduce whatever I'm doing. Kasi nga, when I do that, parang it distances me from my real life self and my internet self. And I want there to be the least amount of resistance kasi hindi ko rin siya kaya ituloy personally. Feeling ko I'll be tired, I'll be burnt out, I'll feel frustrated, and I really don't want to live my life feeling frustrated. So as much
Yeah.
as possible, alamin nyo na my skin is beautiful some days, but at the same time, I have days where, I have blemishes. Yung mga ganun. So as open as I can be, para lang, it's just no effort. Like, you
Yeah.
see, what you see is what you get. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. There's a quote that I mentioned a few episodes ago, but it's my favorite one. But I feel like it resounds with you as well. Is make your appearance the least interesting thing about you, and I love that because as you know we are doing empowering body positivity. It's also not always about your body. Like
Yeah.
it's a beautiful thing, no doubt. But your mind is also beautiful, right? Your kindness is also beautiful. Your strength is also beautiful. And I feel like, I don't know, for some reason, as you mentioned, nung sa may music video ni Quest, parang, ba't kayo nagpo-focus sa katawan ng tao? Parang, there's beautiful music, there's beautiful achievements, as you mentioned, there's beautiful storytelling and messaging. Tapos biglang, yun yung pinaka-interesting para sa inyo, yung katawan ko, which
Yeah.
is so sad. Um, and so, with that said pala, I wanted to go back into the comments. Kung may mga tanong kayo for Miss Ayin,
Miss
in regards in regards to whatever, honestly, she's so ready to answer any question. I'm pretty sure if you guys have seen her TikTok, she's very ready. So kung may mga tanong kayo, please leave them in the comments below. But yeah, we Noreen says embrace who you are, which is a very good principle to have, no? It's the Maya says the confidence.
Yes,
Yes, we
ma'am.
have a confident woman here. Um, what else is here? Okay. How well, speaking of confidence, we have a question from Shea Butter. How to be confident? Which is something that you actually recently spoke on as well. So if you could tell us that story. Sorry, I'm not a stalker. Okay. I'm not a stalker. I'm just a fan. But you can, if you could tell us that story of somebody asked you or bashed you even, no, sa TikTok, then you gave a really good answer. But then maybe hopefully you can answer as well. How to be confident.
Super dami. Okay, first of all, TikTok. I love TikTok, but there was a recent one kasi na parang I was kidding about joining this universe kasi 'di ba
Oh,
binaban nila yung binaban
yung
nila
height
yung
limit.
height requirement.
Wait, ano na ba ngayon?
Wala na daw height
Ah,
requirement. And I'm
wala na.
5'3", wala na
Uy,
daw.
guys, pwede na kayo.
So sabi ko, so I was like, kidding around, nag lalakad-lakad ako. What do you call that? Pasarela in my room. And
Mm.
then, you know how I like Q&As in my
Mm.
TikToks, ganyan.
Yeah, and you're good at
So,
them.
thank you. So, sabi ko parang, oh, ayan na. It started out as a joke, but bro, it might not
Mm.
be a joke anymore. And then somebody said na parang, bakit ba ang ilusyonada ni Ayin and ng mga
Mm.
followers niya? Bakit niyo ba siya pinapaasa na pwede siyang Tapos parang ako, first of all, like, this is just for fun. But second of all, like, who are we to decide what we're allowed to dream of? Kasi to me,
Yeah.
it's just we should allow ourselves to enjoy, like don't be afraid to fail. And I think my confidence really comes from yung over time I got not naman completely got rid of the fear, but I learned to live with the fear of failure and rejection. Kasi
Mm.
I noticed na a lot of my confidence issues before was fear na, oh, they might not accept me, they might not like me, or I might not get this job, or I might not get this opportunity, I might lose. Pero once I learned to live with it, na parang, yeah, other people are gonna be better than me, I'm gonna meet somebody smarter, I'm gonna meet
Mm.
somebody more beautiful, and learning to live with that and not
Mm.
feeling like I need to compete, it's like, I can live with myself, and that's such a freeing,
Yeah.
liberating feeling na parang you just wake up and you decide na, okay, I like being in this body, I like being in this face. Parang
Yeah.
it's just eliminating the need to compete and
Mm.
realizing that whatever I have right now is something I can work on, I can
Yeah.
learn to embrace, accept, and that's really I think where I get my confidence. It's just appreciating what I have and knowing na no matter how people exist around me, hindi naman naaapektuhan. Like, it doesn't
Mm.
take away from me if people are
Yeah.
winning. It doesn't take away anything from me if people are beautiful or confident. So
Mm.
yun, I think it's really all about that.
Yeah, that's really great. See, Koji said, I remember Miss Ayin saying that don't put your confidence on something that fluctuates a lot. Um,
Yes.
yes. See, hindi lang ako yung stalker dito, ha? Lahat kami dito, mga fans mo. No, I love that you mentioned it because there's also another quote that goes, blowing out somebody's candle doesn't make yours shine any brighter. And I think I've always lived by that because, we're taught, I don't know if this was taught in your history classes, but it was taught in my history classes, yung crab mentality ng Pinoy. And it's that wanting to pull somebody down, it's that feeling of wanting to compete, of wanting to bring someone down so that you can get higher,
Mhm.
where I don't think that's good for literally anyone,
Anyone.
because then if that's the culture you're setting for your life, you're also setting yourself up for somebody to pull you down,
Yes.
and that's also growing this feeling of unkindness and maybe even paranoia of this biting you in the butt in the future. And so and you really cultivated a life of freedom from competition, freedom from comparison even. Oh wow, and there's so many Miss Communiverse. Thank you so much, Rafael. And I think that's so beautiful about your story. Noreen said, I had that happen to me. Someone pulled me down with hurtful words. And it sucks to do that, but also that sucks to be the one doing that. Like I feel for you if you're the one pulling people down, because it kind of shows you that you're also perpetuating this culture that you have experienced, and
Mm-hmm.
it's so sad. Sorry, I feel so bad. But yeah. Oh wow, another Miss Communiverse from it's K without Y. Wow, they really love you. Miss
Thank you
Ayin.
guys.
There's so much love for you tonight. Thank you so much, everybody who have been,
Aw,
dropping gifts. Koji says, hurt people, heist.
it's
She says,
true.
heist.
Hi.
Hurt people truly hurt people. And
You
then,
know,
Karina, if you're
I
reading, oh yeah, go ahead.
I was also thinking na parang I've never met a happy, successful person doing that to somebody else. Like parang no truly happy, truly
Yes.
successful people. Walang nagpo-pull down ng iba kung happy and successful sila. So to me, if you're doing that, that just tells me na oh, you're probably not happy with your life too. So,
Mhm.
instead of thinking na, oh, this is a personal thing, a personal attack on me, then inisip ko na lang, may pinagdadaanan siya, baka kulang siya
Mhm.
sa pagmamahal. So,
Mhm.
basta I'll just go back to being myself and trying to see, okay, what can I actually control? What can I actually do? And it's hard to be at the receiving end of it, but also it's not impossible naman to get out of it too.
Yeah. I think bouncing off what you were saying, parang a truly secure, confident person will support others.
Yeah.
And so if we flip that, it's what kind of person are you if you don't, if you are supporting the downfall of others? And
Mhm.
that's a heart check for you today. Kung
Yeah.
nanonood ko ngayon, and you're thinking, oh nga, no, parang, don't comment down below if you feel that way. But oh wow, thank you so much, Charmaine Dizon, for that Miss Communiverse. But that says a lot about maybe you and the way that maybe you even perceive yourself. And I'm not
Mhm.
saying this to bring you down, but I'm saying this actually to support your personal growth of being somebody that has the freedom to just be,
Mhm.
that has the freedom to reach for their dreams, to journey their own life, and figure out their own plans without having to compete with somebody else. And that's so good. Sabi ni Kuya Jesse, ang ganda this show, sobrang laman. And Kuya Jesse, pasensya na po kung binabasa niyo or nabasa niyo yung comments ng kuya ko kanina. Sabi niya, Mr. Moreno is looking for a Miss Morena. Biglang naging dating app na po ang kumu natin today. Ay,
Hi.
nako. Sabi ni friend Rafael, true, the show is the best. Thank you so much, Rafael. This means a lot. And, I really honor people like Miss Ayin. Miss Ayin talaga.
Who's
Um,
I?
like, because you're so intentional with your platform, and we need so many more people like that. Sorry, this stalker. Anyway, I wanted to talk about self improvement, and self growth in a pandemic. Because I always say that we have so much time to ourselves, and yet we use none of that for ourselves. Kasi yun
Mm.
nga, with you and having so many projects, and I can relate with school and work. Parang we run out of time, or we don't make time for it. So how did you incorporate that into your life? Self growth.
Grabe talaga. It's so difficult now to think about that. Parang, oh nga, how do we do so many things and still have room for, taking care of ourselves? And I think, to me, on a practical level, I think what I really did was to figure out a system to accommodate all of my, like, priorities. Kasi, syempre, I want to be able to do all of those things, but at the same time, still be happy. And to me, happiness really is from having good relationships, like my family, being able to nurture those relationships with myself, with my family, and the people who are important to me. So parang ang sa akin was, I was always working towards a system na, first of all, control ko yung time ko, so I have time to choose when I'm gonna do this and that. And then I would also, another thing that I prioritized was my energy. So if I lack energy kasi, then I won't be able to do these things.
Yeah.
So to me, figuring out a way to learn how to work out. Because honestly, before, hindi ako marunong talaga to take care of myself. So yun, inaral ko yun. But I guess the overall theme is teaching yourself things and knowing that you're not helpless. Kasi parang ako, I
Mm.
learned to come from a place of how can I make this work for me? Kasi 'di ba, like
Yeah.
we go online
Wow,
and
that's good.
we search how to wake up early or how to study better or how to make more money. And it's all sorts of and daming advice. Pero to me, what I think we can do is to learn from others, but then after that, more than just learning from others, it's asking ourselves, okay, how can we make this work for our lives? So we filter talaga all the advice, all the tips, and then we try to craft a system na will allow us to both be happy and productive or also leave some space to be not so effective kasi we do have bad days, diba? So
Yeah.
it's like a constant learning about ourselves, constant
Mm.
learning kung ano yung nag-work for us. And if we're coming from a place of not necessarily perfection, but progress, parang, like, this is about progress. This is about waking up tomorrow and
Mm.
deciding na, okay, I'm gonna try. It might not be the best, but I'm gonna try it today. Yung ganon. And
Yeah.
I think it's a good balance of being able to grow, but also being able to be kind to ourselves. And at the end of the
Yeah.
day, that's what we want. That's what you want to feel.
Yeah. Which it's funny because those last two things that you mentioned are very interconnected. It's allowing yourself to grow and be kind to yourself. I feel like allowing yourself to grow is being kind to yourself, right? And so Noreen says everyone is constantly learning and improving on ourselves to be the best version. Exactly. And I love that you mentioned you are not helpless. And that is such a strong statement and a strong principle. Thank you, Charmaine, for that, Miss Communiverse. It's such a strong statement because we do feel helpless. We're at home. We feel like there's nothing we can do to take control of our lives. Which is really the importance of knowing your priorities, right? And really acting towards keeping those. And that's why time for self growth is a choice, right? You don't find time, but you make time for what you deem is important, is always what I believe. And so you're not helpless. Like we have shows like this, we have so many shows on Plus Network where you can go to TikTok and find Miss Ayen's TikTok there. There's so many outlets online that can help you not be helpless, because I feel like everybody has just the potential. Everybody has the potential, and so it's up to you if you want to harness that and find how you can make your potential work for your own self growth. And we reached 40K diamonds. Thank you so much, everybody, for that. That really means a lot. That's so sweet. You guys are always so generous. Okay. Friend Rafael says most entrepreneurs often beat themselves up in hard times. How do you avoid that? Oh, yeah. If you're not afraid of failure, you've probably experienced it, right?
Oh, all the time. But
Yeah.
the
And so,
thing
yeah.
is, I think kasi beating yourself up over something na didn't work out is counterproductive eh. Kasi like,
Mm.
yes, you can feel bad about it and you should because those emotions are valid and they really occur. Pero to me kasi, if I dwell on those feelings, then I'm not able to move forward. Like how can I actually get things done if I'm going to be sad about this? If I'm going to dwell on this? To me, part of growth and part of being a strong, or how do I say this? Like part of being an intentional leader and entrepreneur is being able to get back up from those failures. Kasi frustrating naman talaga sila, and it's really it takes a lot of energy, money. Pagka nalugi ka, it's like, well, how do I earn that back? Pero if I continue to think about that in a way na, oh no, I'm a failure, I can't do this anymore, paano ko to gagawin, then that's not gonna make me money, that's not gonna earn me back time. So to
True
me,
facts.
ang iniisip ko lang, okay, ngayon na nangyari to, ngayon na hindi ko na maiwasan, I failed. Okay, okay, that's the reality. I failed. What can I do next so this never happens
Yeah.
again? The
Wow.
promise I make myself is, I promise I'm gonna make better decisions. Para hindi ako helpless. Para
Wow. Yeah.
naaalala ko na I have the power to not make this happen again in the future. So yun, I think it's all about being intentional na your failures are here not to pull you down, but to tell you what not to do again. And it's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. Ollie says use failures as a stepping stone instead. Yes, and that's something that we really believe in adult things. It's your failure is a stepping stone to success. And the way that you approach it is so strategic. And I think that's amazing. It's just what is the most productive way for me to handle this failure, right? Because as an entrepreneur, we really need to be productive and strategic now with how we handle things. And so it's choosing the way that you look at the failure as something like you mentioned, pulling you down or pushing you further. But we'll cut this conversation short as it's time for our game. Okay, are you guys ready for games? Let me know down below. Are you ready for the game today? We're going back to Peliko Hula. Yes, Naks
Wow.
naman, let's go. We're so ready. We're going to play a game. You guys know this. We're gonna show a poster without a title, and the first person to guess the name of the movie wins. So are you ready, Miss Ayin? Miss Ayin.
I'm ready.
Okay,
I'm excited.
excited. Dapat pala lagi na manood ng movie. Yes, para preparation for Pelikuhula. Let us go with the first movie. This is. Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, you know this movie. Come on, guys. I love this movie. This movie made me
Easy.
cry so much. Okay, and Ali got it correct. The Greatest Showman. Good job, Ali. So The Greatest Showman. Have you watched this, Ayn?
I have. And nakakaiyak siya. I mean, it's like if you're a dreamer.
Yes. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Girl, yes. The watching people find their purpose. Like it makes me cry every single time. The OST that was the best, sabi ni Ali. The OST makes me cry. Like I can just listen
Absolutely.
to it and I'm like, oh.
I wish I
Especially,
could sing it.
yeah, I know. I'm literally trying to stop myself right now. What is the song? I-speak ko na lang Yung I am not a stranger to
Go.
the dark. What song is that called again?
Uh,
I'm not a stranger
maybe
to
you guys
the
know.
kumanta na rin. They say we don't want your broken hearts. What is it? I've learned to be ashamed and all. This is me. There you go. The
This
I
is
am brave, I am bruised, I am
yes.
who I'm meant to be. Bakit naging TikTok song
This
siya?
is this is
This is
me.
oh. I love that song. Oh, and then from now on, wow, may pa song request daw si Fred. Yeah, the last song, From Now On, made me bawl my eyes out. That's the from now on, these eyes will not be blinded by the lights. What's waiting for the moon starts tonight. See, guys, starts tonight. Kung may dream kayo, start tonight.
I mean, it's
Okay, next.
anyone talaga.
Yeah.
Super
Any,
relate.
any, any. Everybody has dreams, and if you don't, why not? No, if you don't, it's okay. We'll find their dream. But okay, next movie. The next movie is honestly, I've never watched this movie before.
I haven't either, but it looks so cute. I've heard of it though.
Yeah. And okay, and the correct answer is by Raven. It's Zootopia. I never watched this, so if you guys have watched this, can you comment down below if you liked it? What was it about? Same daw, sabi ni Althea. She has not watched it yet. It's a great movie. What is it about? Zootopia, like animals? Because I think these movies are supposed to be about self-improvement and personal growth. So
I
why?
saw sa synopsis kanina, it said something about, like a compelling tale of bigotry, racism, and
Wow.
xenophobia. I know, kind of
Seriously?
deep.
Wow. Bigotry, what racism and xenophobia in Zootopia?
Now I want to know. Now I want to watch
I don't
it.
know. I don't want to watch this. Sabi ni, it's K without Y. I just know the sloth is funny. Parang hindi tumatak sa kanya yung bigotry,
Oh
racism,
my.
xenophobia. I just remember how the DMV was full of sloths. Why is the sloth like that? Was not even the character on the poster.
Who is this sloth?
Who is the sloth? And what? Like it's a fox, right? The fox is. Oh, it's about the messed up system. Sabi ni Shea Butter.
Oh,
Ooh, okay, that
I love
intrigues me.
it.
I love messed up systems. I'm just kidding.
And fixing them.
Yeah, and I love fixing them. I love problem solving. So we'll check that out later. The next movie is. Oh, I don't know this movie either.
Does
Plus
anyone
Network is
know?
really stepping it up. I don't know daw, sabi ni Ali. Sabi ni May, ano yan? I don't know.
Interesting.
Also, Rafael says, what is that? What is that? I don't know. Hala. Pass po. Okay, pass daw. Ano daw yung Plus Network? Why naman po mahirap? Is that Logan Paul? Is it? No, it's
I don't
not.
think so.
No.
That would be.
Okay, ano yung living on $1? Okay, may synopsis ba tayo? Ayun. Each student was paid, oh, bulag si ate girl. Is that $9?
$9. So
To
$9 per day.
And sell small hut. He bought with a small loan. Disease, parasites, famine, unexpected costs. The frustration, wow. Yet love, modesty, and the soul can also be found along the way.
Interesting.
I don't know.
Is it a
Sabi ni Rafael,
documentary?
is this
Parang no. I think it is.
Anton is our scriptwriter. Anton, sabi ni Rafael, ano sabi niya? Bakit ang hirap daw? Ba't ito yung pinili ha, Direk? Okay, living on the dollar. Sige, bawi naman tayo next. Next movie. Oh, okay, I know this movie.
Ito.
I've never watched it, but I listened to the soundtrack while I'm studying. Okay, this movie is The Prince Kulang. Austria Mariel says Little Prince. This is the newer version of Little Prince, diba? Kasi there was an old one, right?
Yeah, there was. But this was 2015, I think.
Yeah, I have war flashbacks with this one because the person who sent me the soundtrack of this one, we don't speak anymore.
Oh, no.
Sira ulo talaga, you know? Yeah, no, he loved this movie. But ako nag-share? Anyway.
So you haven't watched it. You haven't watched it.
I haven't watched it because it reminds me of.
And then don't na lang.
Yeah,
but it has a good, it has a good message naman. Also the book too. The book.
Yeah,
I haven't seen the movie, but the book. Yeah.
Yeah. I watched the movie when I was a kid, and so I didn't really enjoy it because I know that it's kind of slow moving, at least the live action version. Sorry. Biglang chismoso kayong lahat. Ay nako. Next.
We
next,
don't talk anymore.
Yeah, guys. Some things are just left, just undiscussed, unsaid. Leave some room for secrecy. Okay, we'll go back to that conversation. Anyway, guys, again, if you have questions for Miss Ayin, leave them down below. Move on na tayo from that little oversharing, no? So I want to ask, somebody asked me this a few days ago when I was on a Kumu Live. What does your daily routine look like in the context of self-growth and personal, self-love and, taking care of yourself? How does that look like?
Well, for me, kasi honestly, I have to be transparent. The last couple of weeks, I haven't really been doing my ideal routine. As in, parang,
Okay.
Parang kasi I'm in this phase na sobrang big adjustment because of all the, yun nga, with TikTok happening, hindi ko siya talaga in-expect na pumasok sa buhay ko. So, it's different now. But ideally, my system kasi is really waking up, the first thing, I don't check social media. Ideally, now I do, pero yung routine ko talaga for self-care is I don't check social media agad. I finish my workout first thing in the morning. So an hour, 45 minutes to an hour, that's done. And then shower, skincare, put on outside clothes kasi
Oh,
I need
okay.
to feel like, I'm actually doing stuff. Ganyan.
Mm.
But recently, I've been going to the office naman. So we recently moved
Oh, that's
outside
good.
of my house.
Yeah,
So
that's good.
it's not that far. But I still make sure na I dress up and I show up as like my best self. I try to do
Mm.
that kahit na technically wala naman akong ka-work. Pero I just like doing that kasi iniisip ko if I'm dressing up for other people, if they're gonna see me, I need to also dress up for myself. And it also
Yeah.
just makes me feel better. Parang
Yeah.
boundary siya ng off ayin and then on ayin. Ganyan.
Mm. Yeah, because it's not just a mental game. I feel like you also have to be again strategic in the way that you kind of curate your physical space, whether that's like what is on
Mhm.
your body or the room that you work in, the desk that you work in. I think one of the like whenever I post my study area, people are like, "Wow, Janina, ang linis ng desk mo," and I'm like, "Girl, because." If I'm firm believer, cluttered desk, cluttered mind.
Mhm.
And so I love that you really take time to be your best self, to show up
Yeah.
your best self. No, but I love that you're also very authentic and vulnerable in in admitting that you're not adhering to the dream routine right now. Um,
Not right now.
but when you feel that way, or how do you get yourself inspired again to get your life together? Are there podcasts, books, or quotes that you go back to that maybe you can share?
Well, for me talaga, I need to set aside time to reset. I can't do yung parang, how some people just snap out of it. I can't just snap out of it. For me, it's a lot of, okay, what do I need to work on? I need to fix my desk. Or like, for example, I need to get out of social media for a bit. So then I go back to like reading. Yung mga ganon. So I try to surround myself with things that inspire me. So I like to listen to podcasts depending on what I'm having problems with. So let's
Yeah.
say I'm having issues with the business. So I'll listen to Optimal Startup Daily, which is all about, like bite-sized episodes about businesses. Tapos, if I'm feeling like my soul is drained and I feel like, yung purpose ko yung nawawala or spiritually I'm depleted, then I listen to Oprah, ganyan. So
Okay. Yeah.
it depends on what I need. Kasi what I realized was I really can't solve a lot of the things that I have problems with on my own. So
Yeah.
I tend to look for other areas or other content creators, other people to inspire me. Kasi what really inspires me is yung stories ng ibang tao and how they were able to deal with their thing. So if I
Mm.
can see how they deal with it, then I can come up with ideas for my own problem solving.
Yeah, no, that's really good because it's really hard to bring out principles and lessons from yourself, especially when you feel empty and there's nothing in there. Rafael says try the Entre Leadership podcast. Have you heard of that one?
Ooh, not yet. Sounds
I'm guessing
good
that's
though.
entrepreneurship, right, and leadership.
Yeah.
May listens to Cuento Juan. If you guys have any podcast recommendations, you can comment them down below. I mentioned last week I started reading Michelle Obama's autobiography. Have
You
you read that?
have? Not yet. It's in my
So
to read list.
cute. It's adorable. Like reading about Michelle and Barack, close kami. Um,
Cute.
si Mitch kasi, no, it's so cute the way that their story unfolds. It's just adorable. But regardless, besides the point, I mean, reading about her life gave me direction in mind. Like it was so interesting, but I only realize it now when you were speaking that listening to other people's lives kind of gives you ideas for your own life, no? Because when I was listening, she was talking about law school and taking the bar, and I'm taking political science now, and I'm like, yeah, okay, I don't. I don't think that's my way, or just the choices that she made, or like the fact that she mentioned being a professor or a teacher. I'm like, wait a second, that kind of intrigues me. And so there is a lot of value now in listening to other people's stories and learning from other people's experiences. Shea Butter, it's what is it called? Becoming by Michelle Obama. Um,
Yeah.
oh, it's so cute. I don't know why kinikilig ako sa Obamas, but I do. Um, There's a user 358 says they listen to Camp Confidence.
Thank you so much. That's our podcast, by the way, if anyone's curious.
Yeah, can you introduce the podcast to anyone who doesn't know it?
Oh, yeah. So, Camp Confidence Radio is a podcast about self love, success, and entrepreneurship. So, I host it along with my very successful entrepreneur co host, Riza Lana Sebastian. So, every week we talk about adulting as well, like adulting, self love, self improvement, productivity is a big part of it. So, we're just talking about our journeys and hopefully in the process of sharing about ours kasi yun nga, like I'm also a small business owner, but between the two of us, Riza and I, ako yung medyo baguhan sa business. So I'm learning along the way, and also we're sharing, our progress while we record the podcast. So if you guys want to listen to something like that, that's Camp Confidence Radio.
Yeah, is it on Spotify? Nareen asks.
It is, it
Yeah,
is.
on
And
Spotify.
YouTube. It's also on
And
YouTube.
YouTube. Okay, great. You mentioned productivity, and that is like a problem for me and everybody else in this community. Do you have any tips that maybe you would like to share on productivity?
Well, productivity is not about checking lists. For me, productivity is creating systems that will allow you to do as much as possible. But this is also by creating systems, I mean eliminating things that don't matter. Because a lot of the time, we associate productivity with getting as much done. Pero
Yeah.
to me, it starts with evaluating ano ba yung kailangan gawin in the first place. Ano ba yung pwedeng alisin? Ano yung pwedeng, what's the essential thing na kailangan mo talaga ayusin? So for me, it really starts with like zooming out of the picture and figuring out, seeing your life from this like big screen na parang,
Yeah.
okay, that isn't working. So let's not focus on that. And then there's an important part here that needs to be tackled. So that's the important thing. We're zooming in, we're giving more of our energy there. So hindi siya talaga for me about we're not machines kasi we're not machines. We're not meant to produce every single day. I think we need to for me, productivity is all about figuring out the best way to live our lives, and that means being able to fulfill what makes us happy. So if what makes you happy is, for example, maybe somebody in law school wants to be a good lawyer kasi she wants to create impact. You need to do stuff that will get you closer to that. So that means studying. That means ganyan, ganyan. Pero what if another person, their purpose or like what they want to do is to become a better caregiver to their parents, ganyan. So they're just at home, pero that doesn't mean they're any less productive dun sa nag-aaral na nag-aaral. So it's really like being able to see what you need as a person and being able to give those important essential things the energy they deserve. So ayun talaga, I'm a big fan of introspection and getting to know yourself kasi yun ang sagot. Like I can't answer that for anybody kasi like what works for me might not work for them. So what I can encourage people is to figure out the system that will work for you, your lifestyle, your schedule. Yeah.
Yeah. Maya shared, diba, productivity is not about being busy. Ika nga, oh, chichal mo siya. Maya, may ano ka. And thank you so much, Charmaine and Jessica, for the Carlito hugs. I love that part. I'm kind of curious though, even if it may not work for me. I'm curious what worked for you. Like, what were the things that you had to let go of so that you could focus on something else?
I learned to delegate. Kasi before,
Delegate.
I was doing everything myself kasi nga parang I was trying to control everything. I was a perfectionist to the point na I wanted to be in charge of sales, marketing, customer service, ganyan. Pero may weaknesses talaga ako. Like, hindi talaga. So, for me, admitting na I needed help was one. So for me, I started with, okay, how can I get help at first? So at first, it started with me hiring my sister part-time kasi siya lang yung afford ko, di ba? And then eventually, that led to me getting a part-time assistant at the office to help me produce kasi nga ang dami ko pang ginagawang ibang bagay. And to me, that was difficult because I wasn't really earning that much yet. But I also needed to make a decision na parang, do I invest in this so I have the potential to scale? Or baka hindi ko to afford? So for me, it was yun nga, if hindi ko na identify yung kailangan na kailangan ko na talaga, which was delegation, hindi, I wouldn't have taken that risk. But that risk was essential to me living a more peaceful life na talagang, you
Yeah.
know, as in, kaya ko na at least na I can say yes to meetings, I can do more things because I don't have to be there physically at the office. Yung mga ganong bagay.
Yeah.
So, learning to delegate is one, but the other one is learning to plan weekly. So for me, like I guess on the practical side, I have a calendar that I adhere to talaga. As in all of my
Wow.
appointments are there, and if I can see kung ano yung mga empty spaces na I can either fill in or just not fill in intentionally. So I have rest days talaga or like rest hours.
Yeah.
Ganyan. I
That's really good.
also do you quarterly plan? I don't know if that's something that you do, pero
Not yet.
it's so fun. It's so fun.
Oh, I'm glad you find quarterly planning fun.
I promise. Okay, well, the thing about quarterly planning is it's it's every 3 months, right? So in a year, you plan 4 times. So quarter one is from January to March. And anyway, the reason why we quarterly plan is I'm so passionate about planning. Like, anyway, so you plan 3 months because it's long enough to achieve things, to actually give yourself time to achieve your goals. But it's not too long na ang layo na masyado na baka nakaka-discourage siya na hindi mo siya magagawa. So for me, I check in with myself every 3 months to see, okay, how are we doing with our goals? Is there anything you want to change in your life, in your schedule, your habits, your routines, so that you can do things more efficiently, so you can have time for things you actually like to do. So ganon. So for me, it's always like giving myself time to check in with myself, to ask what is working, what isn't working, what can I remove, ganyan. So yun, it's just a regular thing na parang I do.
Yeah,
Fun.
that's great. That's so cute. I love that. Yeah, Rafael says quarterly planning is a great way to recalibrate, and it really is. I wanted to mention about delegation because a lot of our viewers are not like entrepreneurs yet. They're not young pros yet. They're still students. But I think in terms of delegation, something that I learned in college, I was not a great delegator. Obviously, one woman show plus mother. So in terms of working in a team, it wasn't second nature to me. But something that I learned in group works, at least in college, is that communication of what your strengths are and what your weaknesses are in group works really changes the game. If I go into a group work, I don't know these people. Ang kapal na mukha ko. I'm like, hey guys, so this is our plan. This is what we need to do. To be honest, I'm not great at writing formats like at the format like essay construction. I'm not the best, but I can really come up with ideas. Like I'm really good at storytelling, like I'm really good at doing whatever this is, and so I could really help with that, but I might need a little bit of help with this one if that's okay. And that just streamlines all of the productivity into, oh my gosh, perfect, I'm really good at, somebody will come, I'm really good at formats and I'm really good at systematic, construction of sentences. I'm like, wonderful. So I think that really, yeah, that kind of helps. And so if you're a student, maybe you can try that, communicating with your group mates, in a kind of delegation, not really tech, like it's more of allowing them to know your strengths, know your weaknesses, and know their strengths and their weaknesses, and kind of work together to balance that out, no? So I don't know if that's good advice, but it's been working for me.
That's great advice. Like, ask for help. Be open to other people
Yeah.
helping you.
Yeah, 100%. So yeah, I hope that helps. But I think we are supposed to wrap up. We're supposed to play one more game. But I love this conversation so much. I'm so sorry, Plus Network. And I'm so sorry, guys, if you were looking forward to the game. But I hope you enjoyed the conversation with Miss Ayin more, because I did. But yeah, I think before we end, no, I wanted to ask you, I want to ask a Miss Universe question.
Oh my
Since,
gosh.
that's where we started. We're going back to that was a foreshadowing of the end. I want to ask. Okay, I think if I have one. If you could tell, I the past Ayin 5 years ago, one thing that you wish you would have done in regards to personal growth, what would it be? Like if there was one thing that you wish you had learned 5 years ago, in terms of personal
Mm,
growth, what would that be? Let's go.
I love that. I love that question. Thank you for that question, Janine.
Wow, you go ahead.
5 years ago, I
Mm.
was starting out with my career as a content creator and also as an entrepreneur. And one thing I wish I knew then, or an advice I would give myself then, would be to not laugh at my dreams. Because early on, I treated my dreams as if they were not possible. And so I didn't really go 100% with them because I didn't fully believe they were possible. But if I can, if I had the power of hindsight, knowing what I know now, I I wish, myself from 5 years ago can see na these things are possible. And so like if I could remove the limiting beliefs that I had na parang, oh, this is so funny. Ang feeling ko naman or like ano ako, sikat, ganyan. I wish I did not have that. I wish I allowed myself to dream as fully as I can. Kasi you really don't know what you're capable of until you allow yourself to try fully.
Mm.
So yeah, I would say that to myself then, and I would say it to everybody watching this. If you have a dream, allow yourself to believe that it's possible because then you can start working towards it and not hold back.
Fantastic, wonderful, amazing. Claps for Miss Ayin Bernas. Drop some hearts, drop some gifts. That was amazing. Okay, wait, my laptop turned off. What's happening? Okay, there you go. We're back. Thank you so much. I love that. Don't laugh at your dreams. And what was the last point about trying? I completely forgot that.
Allow yourself to try fully.
Allow yourself to try. Yes, there you go. So don't laugh at your dreams and allow yourself to try. That's really beautiful. I'm literally going to apply that right now. Don't laugh at your dreams, Janina. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Miss Ayin, for joining us tonight. Before we go, would you like to plug any of your social medias, any of your projects that you feel like our community would like to check out?
Yeah, if you guys want to check out Morena the Label, we have a couple of new stuff up there. So it's on Instagram at Morena the Label. Our shop is at ideology.studio. And then we also have our podcast, Camp Confidence. So I hope to see you guys there and we can connect everywhere else. Thank you so much, Janina, for having me. I had so much fun. Ang bilis ng oras.
I know that was so fast. It's super. It's cool lang. Plus Network, maybe we could have her again one time. I don't know if you're game. I would love to
I'm
have you back. I'm sure
game.
our community would love to have you back as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed that Adulthings episode 6. Okay, so before we go, I have a few announcements regarding the Plus Network shows. So we have a new schedule that I would like to announce today. Don't worry, Adulthings is keeping its time on. It's keeping its Friday schedule. However, on Wednesdays we will have Plus Talks para sa Pinoy hosted by MG Lastimosa. But that will happen at 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. And right after that, we have In the Biz hosted by our very own friend Rafael Layosa at 8 to 9 p.m. So that will be on Wednesday Plus Talks. And then In the Biz on Thursday. Speaking of, there's a Diamond Shower by our very own. Thank you so much, Rafael. On Thursdays, we have All Out by Carla Piscoso. The time was moved to the morning at 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. So if you want to get your morning workout, your morning midweek workout in, you can check that out. Seaworthy as well. Will be on Thursday still, but the time will run from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. So you have 2 hours for that. Adulthings by Janina Vela next week will be at 7 p.m. instead. So we will still be here every Friday, but we will have our show at 7 p.m. Okay, so note that down, okay? 7 p.m. So 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. And then right after us, we have Pick a Side by hosted by Ayana Perlas, our very good friend, Al Banal, and of course Chuck Araneta. So Check us out next week with our new schedule. I hope to see you guys again soon. Thank you so much for all of your generosities. You guys, generosities, plural, generosity. You guys blow me away every single week. Thank you again to Miss Aileen Bernas. So much wisdom, so much learning. We love you so much, Aileen. We love you so much, all of our community. I will see you guys next Friday at 7 p.m. So I will see you guys then. Let's all be a little kinder. Bye.